Take me home tonight. Listen, honey, just like Ronnie said. Just like Ronnie said. Whoa, whoa, yeah.
All right, you all ready?
Let's
do it.
Right. All right, welcome back to another episode, long-awaited return of the unofficial official podcast. This is episode number 42. Some could argue it might be 43. Depends if you count the live one that we did in Atlantic City, which I promise you will be available for all of you that were not there very soon. I think, as you can imagine, after we get home from tour, there's a lot of settling in that we do. And sometimes it's not the easiest to lock in all of the times for the pod and for all this stuff. Only though, because we know it usually works out where about after a month, everyone kind of settles in. This is usually when we get going again. And I know that the three of us are very excited for what is to come. As always, I am here with Segi and Tyler, who are also in the band. For
We're
those
in the
new
band.
listeners, in the band. For
Yes.
those who have listened for a long time, you guys know that this is our crew. This is what we do here. We like to talk about all things S&C. We like to talk about all things Indiana. We like to talk about our opinions on things that are going on in the world.
So just general life things, we're not all
Also
about
general life things. That's right.
whatever comes to mind. It could be anything.
Exactly.
You know,
So I
I-
know for all of you older listeners, this is a little bit of like a review. It's a little boring, but I do like to start the show every time asking these guys how they are and like what's been going on in their lives. So I'm going to throw it to you, Ty.
I have two things.
How have you been since the tour has been done?
I've been really good.
Anything
Thank you for
exciting
asking.
going on in your life?
Yes,
Yeah.
I've two things I'd like to start at the top here. Number one,
Thank
and
you
we're out
all
of time. Thank you. Oh boy, that was my chance. No, two things. One, I have a newborn, so it's tough to kind of schedule stuff that's, just in general, but scheduling the pod was also I'm probably getting in trouble right now just for doing this pod. So
and
that's
like nine other things. But
Not with
Oh,
our
well,
listeners, you're not. Not with our listeners,
no,
you're
I'm not. But
No.
if you guys, any of you listeners want to come and like nanny, that'd be great. Come on
There you
down.
go.
That was number one. So, but I'm happy that I got to make time to do this today because it's been a long time coming, and we're back into the groove of the dad thing and balancing that with the work stuff and all that different types of things when you're home. So it's all good now. Happy to be back on the pod. That was the first thing. Number two is Mike mentioned the live Atlantic City pod, and I am also curious. When is that coming out, guys? We should release that. That was so fun. I had so much fun with the fans, and we had a couple guests. I think Jerome and Walt came on the show, and then we talked about a lot of cool things. So when's that coming out?
Okay,
but
I will just say real
on
quick,
the flip
Segi.
side, hold
Okay.
on.
All right, go ahead.
On the flip side, what if we never release it?
Right.
Because like there's got to be some perks to the people that paid extra for the VIP fan experience in Atlantic City.
But I
What
think
if
they
that-
want to hear it.
The only
Yeah, but-
reason I would say that we do is I would agree with you, except for the fact that we said
Sure.
we would release it. That's so
Yeah.
I am with you on that. But if I remember right, I think we did say that we would
Probably.
like
Yeah.
eventually release it. So I feel like we have to stick to our word there. I'm not saying that you're not saying we stuck to our word, but I think that is the reason why. But I was gonna say, like on
We never lie.
those lines. All right, it's not going to come as a surprise to you guys, but I think our listeners just have to have a little backstory here. So,
Mike's leaving the band.
Yoneen is our
Whoa.
sound guy, right?
Sure. Love
Yoneen
him. Great
is
guy.
probably the most. He is extremely detailed. He's
Yes.
Very type A.
extremely thorough. So he helped us out at the recording.
Because it was the
And-
same room that we did the show that night. So he was there
in
already.
Atlantic
Yeah.
City. So, and we were using the group's microphones. So we thought it'd be easier if we're going to record this pod. Hey, then let's have like Yoneen work on it because it's already set up and it'd be easier that way. Well, it was easier that way. It was easier that way on the day. But then when it came to after the show, when he was like, "Here are all the files," there were more. There were more files, and there were more tracks. There were more. I'm like, wait. How did you get this out of what we just did with like three
Three
microphones or like
microphones,
four
or
microphones?
five, yeah.
So I was like overwhelmed.
Like how
It's
many
weird.
tracks was it?
I mean,
Probably 10.
no,
Left
no,
it. He
like
had
it's a
probably had a left
million
and a right.
things, and
Oh,
it's long because it was about an hour ish. So you have all of these things going on, and then he has these other things, or like other microphones that were in, or that were in the audience
Crowd
otherwise.
mics.
So I'm like, I love that you did this. I love how like it's all so detailed and like it's all so thorough. But when I opened the folder, I immediately got like, I don't know the answers to the test. Like it was like that whole like, oh no, like what do I do with this? So I think a little bit of that is I haven't spent a lot of time really trying to figure out like what of all that stuff, what is actually necessary and what is
okay.
not. So I think I just need to spend a couple hours, just open the thing up and
I
Going
could
through
I
it.
could tell you.
edit it out to where it's like like I mean only the three mics, just us, and if there's guests, then we add those two, and then the questions at the end. But I think like overall, I think that's why it's not out yet because I've yet to really dig in because when I open it up, it's like, what's going on?
I think I could explain. So it's kind of like when he records the show. If you ever ask for like, hey, send me last night's show, I want to listen to something sound weird. There's like 20 something tracks.
Right.
And it's because each of our mics records on two separate tracks.
Yeah, right. Stereo, right?
Yeah, left and right. Then he's got the audience mics, which same thing, either side of the theater, left or right. So what I would say is take all the files, drop them into Pro Tools, then just take out all the crowd mics. And then like it'll say like Segi, Tyler, Mike, Jerome, Walt.
Mm-hmm.
Keep those, delete everything else. You won't need it.
Gotcha.
And our whatever mic we used for the questions,
Mm-hmm.
it might have been the spare. And keep that.
Keep
But
that.
yeah, otherwise, like all the audience mics, we probably don't need because
Cut those.
Are you
yeah.
sure?
yeah,
I mean,
you'll be able to hear like the just roaring laughter through our mics.
because it's hilarious.
Because there were like
Yes.
42 people there.
Yeah.
Hey,
Well,
that's so netters.
We'll get it. We'll
Hey,
get it
man.
out though.
I'm not ever one to hate on, or like I know that I was obviously right there. I was like sort of joking. I was like, yeah, there's only 40 people, blah blah blah. But like, I don't want anyone to get me wrong. Like that's amazing that we had that at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah, I think I was surprised at the turnout.
It was just kind of
I
more
was
of a
like,
joke about
really?
like the roaring laughter. I was like, oh yeah, but like, but I think all of us. I mean, like I don't know, all of us were surprised or happy that like anybody was there at all. So we had a good
Exactly.
time with that. So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Hope to get that out soon. And I know that I'm kind of in control of that. So I'm the only one that I like I'm, I'm like the only one to blame for it. And I like knowing that because
You would like all of the blame and all of the credit.
well,
Please
It's
write
just-
in to complain about
well, it's
this.
just I
Address
know
it
that
to
if something
Mike.
goes wrong, I'm not going to be like, oh, like
All right, so
whoever did something else, whatever. So yeah, I know it's on me, and
You want to control it because you know you're the best at it, and you want
and
to
I
do
will
it
get
right.
this out. Well, no, it's not that. It's more like
It is, but you are the best at it, so
Well,
it's okay.
it's.
The
I was just like saying it as in, like more like it's not on you guys because like I have the files. You can't do anything with it. It's like
Sure.
I just have to get my ass
Have
in
the
gear.
power.
So
The
every
files
week,
are in the computer.
they're in the
Every-
computer. That's what it is.
so every
Um,
week that's not out, right into Mike Luganbill
Segi,
and
yeah. But I did want to ask you, Segi, since the end of the tour, since
Well, I think Tyler
left?
hasn't even gone into his thing. He
oh,
just
okay,
said
I thought you did. I thought you had a couple.
No,
that was
I
it.
think
That,
he's-
that was my 2 things.
Yeah.
That's your catch up since fall tour ended?
That's it. That's all I got. I got a newborn, so it's hard to do stuff, and I want to know when the AC pod was coming out.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was it.
Okay.
Oh well,
I
I'm
mean,
sure there's more, but
there's
it's
more. I mean, but
but
it's
he may
all
not
this.
think that it's
It's not that important. I mean,
relevant, but
day
it
to day.
is. They want to hear from you, brother.
Let's see. I don't know. Just like typical
But
dad
hey,
stuff,
yeah, I'm not going to force it. So
Farm
hey,
animals. Those are the two things on the top of my head. If I think of something, I will chime in. But that's.
Segi, you have had an eventful few months, I think, here
Yeah, it's been
with a
busy.
lot of travel and stuff. Can you help us, kind of learn a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so I've been traveling. So that's all I got.
And you like traveling though.
I do. I do.
Yeah, yeah.
So
It's not
we got back from tour and immediately we started figuring out how we were going to get to Miami for the national championship. We were hit up and they said, "Hey, we can get you tickets for the Peach Bowl."
okay.
We're
What's the national championship?
I'm sure we'll go
If you
into
could give a little. Oh, gotcha.
well,
Okay,
I'm
cool.
sure we'll do more on
Cool.
that later,
Gotcha.
but just
Gotcha.
a
Yep.
a recap. And a lot of us were like, "Oh, it'd be cool to go to Atlanta, but you know what? Let's hold out for the Natty." And that's what we did, and we ended up going down there for the
We
national
also
championship.
just got home like that last
Yeah.
week.
Well, you guys stayed in Florida later
Oh,
than
that's
I did.
true.
I
That's
came
true.
home New Year's Day, and then we flew to Miami on the 18th, and the game was on the 19th, which was also Jamie's birthday. So, whoops. And then we got back on the
But
20th.
she would understand of all people,
Yeah,
like
she
a
was.
once in a lifetime. Well,
Yeah,
I hope it's not, but
but
if it is
yes,
once in a lifetime, yeah. All right,
yeah.
go ahead. Go ahead.
And then we get back on the 20th, and I think I left for LA. Steve and I went to LA for our business management company, Major Third Business Management. We do some business managing for other bands and other artists and other, you know, talent companies and record companies. So we flew out there for the week leading up to the Grammys. A lot of meetings are happening that week, meeting with a lot of different people, potential clients, just, getting our name out there. And then I took a red eye. Steve and I both took red eyes home Friday night. And
Isn't it true that the Grammys it's kind of like any other big event like the Super Bowl? Like the week leading up to it, there's just like
a ton of events.
all these
Yeah.
industry people are just there doing
Ton of
events
parties,
and
events.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Okay.
It's mayhem. So I take a red eye back Friday night, land Saturday morning, go straight to Leo's Pinewood Derby. And then immediately from that, we go to Mila's Talent Show.
What's a
Uh,
Pinewood Derby?
Pinewood Derby is a race in Cub Scouts where they give you a block of pine wood and you have to make a car.
Oh, you built. Oh, that's right.
You
Okay,
build a
cool.
car
Pretty
and
Oh,
you
low,
how
race
yeah.
it.
fun! How fun!
Yeah. Leo took second, which is awesome. Like
Come on.
I did not think that I was capable of building a halfway decent car, but I watched a bunch of YouTube videos
Hey, he
and
did it,
Well,
not
they
you.
didn't see you putting giant flames on the side, so it just
He
rocket
did
ship
it,
past
not
that.
you. He did it.
he painted it and he helped saw a little bit,
Yeah.
Isn't it like I mean I did it too when I was a kid, but if I remember right, like it has to be like a certain weight and you can't like add too many things to it or
can't
whatever.
be over 5 ounces. And
Okay.
there's a ton of rules because
I'm sure.
so they
Well,
do
yeah, it's like
these,
NASCAR rules.
dude, it's
But like IndyCar, it's like every
It's
car has
insane.
to be the same specifics. Everything has to be the same specification. Like you can't do. It's like all right, let's
it's
go.
wild. But like these YouTube videos I was watching, these guys were like, all right, so what you got to do is you got to shave the wheels down to here. You got to bend the axles, and
They're
then the
teaching
car
you
rides.
how to shave it.
And it's like,
Oh my
great.
gosh.
but in our Cub Scout pack, all that stuff is outlawed. You can't do any of
Right.
that stuff
Oh,
because
right. Yeah, right. It's cheating.
like, oh, if your dad's an engineer, you're gonna win. It's like
yeah, you're gonna crush. Yeah,
it's not about winning. It's about the experience of building the car with
Yes.
your dad and like,
Absolutely.
having fun.
But to the
So-
kids, they want to win.
Yeah.
so, are
So
the
when
dads.
Leo took second, I was very shocked. I was like, I did not think that it was going to be that good. But anyway, so then we go to the talent show, and Mila and her little girlfriends did a choreographed dance that Jamie choreographed and like taught them and rehearsed with them to
Cute.
this K-pop Demon Hunters medley that I cut together for them.
Oh, cool.
And that was super cute and awesome. And then like 3 days later, we fly to Hawaii. The family goes to Hawaii.
My goodness.
And yeah, so we go to Hawaii for entirely too long. We were there from the 3rd to the 12th.
Now that was not business related.
No. Well, for Jamie it is because
Oh, that's true.
She does a little bit of travel agenting.
She is a travel agent. Book
So-
Jamie traveleshow.com, whatever it is.
Jamie Show Travel at Gmail.
There, I was close.
And I think it's important though that you like it's important though, I think, or like it's important, I think, that you explain why you went, when you went, because you're smart and you were like, hey,
Oh yeah,
I
totally.
I it's a way to get around all these other things but still have a great time and not sort of be in the crowd of like the new year. It was like a little bit after the new
Yeah.
year,
For sure.
right?
The
Smart.
main
It was
the
yeah, yeah.
the main thing
Go ahead.
was generally like last year the family came down to West Palm and we stayed in Florida for a while, but like it was going to cost like $4,000 just to fly them to Florida. And I was like, no, thank you. Like
Crazy.
if we're going to
Yeah.
spend that kind of money, we're going to like Europe, you know what I mean? Or
Mhm.
Asia, like somewhere insane,
Mhm.
not Florida. That's absurd. So I was like, all right,
Nothing against Florida. There's a lot of beautiful places.
yeah, but I'm not paying 4 grand
Of
for my
course.
family to fly there. So
Heard.
I was like, okay, let me figure out how to get Jamie a vacation because that's what this is all about. Because
Sure.
they were just stuck in the house with the kids all winter long while we were out touring. So it's like, all right, how do I get her out of the house, out of the cold, into some sun, you know? So she sent me a TikTok video of this guy who's like, hey, I have this travel hack. So I was like, all right, I'll check this out. And he was like, if you go on Delta's website and you're a Sky Miles member, you click on Sky Miles on like the top right hand part of the website, a little drop down comes down. There's like award travel. Click on that, and then a screen pops up. You type in the city that you fly out of, and then that's it. You just click search, and then it'll populate a ton of award travel trips at like insanely reduced mileage. So, like, for example, there were miles like 8,000 mile round trip to Dublin. Granted, it's in February, but still, like, if you want
Yeah.
to go to Dublin for 8,000 miles, that's nothing. But the dates are all random and it's probably based on when they're like lowest sold. So it's like,
Yeah.
let's
Sure.
fill the plane. So, you know, we're fortunate that we have very flexible
That's
travel
huge.
Schedules.
Yeah.
abilities, right?
Yeah.
Because we're off until June basically, and Jamie works from home. So it's like, okay, we have that ability and that flexibility. I have a ton of miles. Let's see where we can go. And Kona, Hawaii popped up, and it was like 40,000 miles a person round trip, which is insanely low for a trip that far. So I was like, all right, we're doing it. I'm just going to book this. Let's go. And it was a random week in February, and it was over the Super Bowl, and it was before winter break, before spring break, after New Year's. So it's kind of like this dead time of travel. So they're just trying to fill resorts, fill planes, whatever. So I was like, okay, this is great. Now we don't have to go and spend $1 billion on going somewhere on spring break because everything is juiced. Now we don't have to go and it's going to be insanely crowded because it's spring break and everybody's off. And, you know, the only con is that I pulled the kids out of school for like, 9 days or whatever. I don't really care. It's first grade, third grade. In my opinion, like spending time with your family at that age is just as or more important than going to first and third
And
grade.
also like and also kind of what you learn like on a er, like like
Indirectly,
like
yeah.
like
Life
yeah,
experience, man.
yeah, like I would almost argue that like they learned more on those 11 days that they were, you know, walking through airports, having to deal with airport stuff, having to deal with travel, having to deal with
For
things that they
sure.
don't want to, I would argue that that's almost more important for the future
Absolutely. I mean,
of themselves than
Yeah, it's definitely
like
they've
a
sure.
week
literally
in
done
third grade learning how to read, which he already knows how to do all that stuff,
they've
you know?
literally done the studies that show that like family time is more important.
Sure.
Like that
Sure.
that is more beneficial for brain function, for everything. So we're in Hawaii for all those days. We went and saw volcanoes. We saw like the steam vents coming out of the volcanoes, really cool.
Did you just
Um,
stay on the Big Island?
we just stayed on the Big Island, and like the resort we stayed at was fairly inexpensive compared to like spring break time. You know what I mean? It's like probably less than half of what it would have cost during spring break. So yeah, it's all about just maximizing the opportunity there because like, okay, I didn't pay anything for the flights
Mm-hmm.
and we didn't pay what
Wow.
you would have paid on spring break for a resort. So it was awesome.
Yeah,
That's
that's
why
And
good.
you save your miles like a squirrel.
yes, I do.
You
I do. I
you don't
hoard
ever
them.
spend miles, but
I hoard them.
dude, like
But
that's
this is why.
smart. Like
Yeah.
it's like exactly for these reasons,
Yeah.
right? Like, yeah,
So
I think
we
that's
get home
genius.
we get home Thursday the 12th at like we get to our house at like around 5 p.m. I help Jamie like wrangle the kids, get him in the shower, and then I had to head to the lounge because we were launching like a new comedy open mic event at the lounge.
Mm-hmm.
So I literally land, get home, change, throw the kids in the shower, and then I had to leave. So that, meanwhile, I haven't slept yet because we took a red eye with a stop from
Yeah.
Hawaii. So I'm like running on fumes, man. And then get home after the event, crash, wake up, got to get the kids ready for school on Friday. And then Friday night, Jamie and I go see Adam Ray at the Royal Oak Music
Woo!
Theater.
So
And
good,
then Saturday, Jamie and I go see Brad Williams at the Fillmore, met up with Steiny and Elodie for dinner beforehand. And then
Man.
yesterday, it was like, I'm not moving.
yeah.
Like,
I'm
this
beat.
is going to be a
Yeah,
lazy day.
good for you.
We're not doing anything. Like, we're
Right,
not
you've
leaving the
earned it,
house.
man. I mean, it's a lot. Like, it's a lot. I mean, you were, yeah, and I feel like for all of us, I think after we get home, there is that kind of, I don't know. I feel like we kind of feel this obligation to be like, well, I know I've been gone, so like it's like whatever you need, even if it's
Yeah,
hard. And
you
right, even if it's
overcompensate.
like, hey, like, yeah, sure, let's go to Hawaii for 2 weeks. All right, cool. Like, even though, like, I'm sure you had a lot of, like, I'm sure, I mean, as everyone knows, like, it's like all of this stuff never stops. So it's
Yeah,
like, I know you had, I'm sure there were things that like you could be working on, but you were like, no, like it's a time I'm home now. Let's just do this, and then there's always going to be time for that extra stuff after we get back, right? Like,
but
so,
also
Yeah.
it's like
so I think that's that you did that.
it's the difference of like we've just been away from home for 3 months and they've been
Mhm.
stuck at home for 3 months.
But
So it's like when we get home, they're ready to shoot out that front door, and but from our end, we're ready to be home. You know what I mean? So like,
I get that, and I understand that, but there, like, I'm just going to be real. There's a little bit of me that's like, well, this is going to sound whatever, but like I used to have a lot of sympathy, on that end. But after all of these years, and like some of us were with like our some of us were with our wives earlier than this, and it's like I feel like everybody kind of knows like how it works, and everybody
sure,
kind of knows the deal. And like so whenever there is this like you guys have been gone for 3 months and you're home and now here you go because now it's your turn. I don't think they understand that like when we're out on the road, it's not a vacation. This isn't
yeah,
like I'm out here hanging out with a bunch of my buddies all the time, just going out every night. And it's like, I don't think they understand. Like, while I agree that, yes, for the 3 months that we were away, they have had to handle the load. But again, that was all agreed upon when we all agreed like are we going to do this, is this going to be our life? Yes. So like
It's not a
i
big.
I have smaller of a I have a shorter rope on that stuff than I used to when I get home, only because it's like, yes, I'm happy to do all the things, but like you have to understand that it's as much of an adjustment for me being like now I'm home when we're off the road, or like 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 off of the road, because on the road everything is there for you. You have your meals, you have laundry whenever you want, you have all these things, and you don't have to do those extra things. So when you come home and everything gets thrown on you, which I can understand why they would do that, because they're like, I've been doing this for 3 months, you've been gone, here you go. I think they miss the part that's like, I'm also now kind of adjusting. So now you're throwing all of this like other stuff, which I think is reasonable, but there has to be like that kind of middle ground of like,
Yeah.
I know that it's hard also for you. You've
Yeah.
been gone. I know it's hard. It's been hard here, but like, you can't just assume right as I get home, now all that stuff that I've been dealing with alone for 3 months, you have to deal with that. And you have to deal with how you kind of adjust to being home now. So it's
Yeah.
like a
I
double
get what you're
whammy kind of
saying.
thing, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not what I was saying over here. I was saying
Well,
when
no,
when
I
I
was just
get
going on a
home,
tangent. I was just going on.
when I get home, it's like, okay, let's go somewhere. Like all of us, let's go somewhere. It's not like, hey, I'm out, you do everything. It's let's go
Yeah,
on a
but sometimes we
vacation.
joke about it like that. It's
Yeah,
like,
of course.
all right, so you get home and it's like, okay, here you go. I've been doing this for right.
Yeah. But in our
But the
house, it's
more you
like,
let that go as like a joke, the more it kind of becomes like that's how it should be. And it's
sure.
like I can't like I have to I have to put my foot down like, hey, yes, I understand, but you also got to understand that like this can't like and dude, even after all these years, I don't even know about you guys, but I still have a hard time on the reentry. Like I still have a
Oh,
hard
the
time with that.
reentry is real, man. And we've talked about that for a long
Right? And you
time.
would think
Yes.
after all these years that
It's
It's
still an adjustment for anybody.
yeah, it'll never not because they find a rhythm without
Of
you.
course.
yeah.
And
And
then you
then
have
when
to,
you're
yeah.
home, you screw the rhythm up,
And,
and
until
it's
you
not anyone's fault. It's just,
build that rhythm back with both of you, and then you go away again, and you have to.
yeah.
It's ever evolving and changing.
Yes, but how much of that I guess now should be expected? Like
I
I
think
feel like
it never will
it
be
should be
because
expected like okay, I know he's coming home. I know for like a week it's going to be like weird. So like
Probably not
maybe I
until our
shouldn't
kids,
throw everything on
probably
probably
to
not
yeah,
until our kids are a lot older.
gotcha.
yeah, like we introduced
They're
a new
still
one, so
very
it's
young.
always yeah.
But
No,
what I was saying is when I get home, it's like, let's go on a vacation. And like for me, I'm like, I've just been away from home for 3 months. I don't want to go anywhere. I want to just be home. So
mhm.
that
I know.
those are that's the
Sure.
difference. It's like I
Yeah.
just want to be home. Like
Well, if it happens to be Hawaii, then I think you'll be fine going.
I'm that way too. I just like want to be home, and she's like, let's go.
Hawaii's
I
Yeah.
mean,
fine. Hawaii's
yeah,
fine. I'm not a big Hawaii guy.
I loved
Jamie
I
loves it,
love
so
Hawaii.
I
that's
loved
why.
how you texted us and you were like, "Man, you're like if I lived here, I would really have a hard time because everybody goes so slow." And you were
It's
like,
oh
Yeah,
dude,
you were
it's
like,
you
"Man,
you would not
you're
like
like,
that.
man, I
no, I
would kill
can't. I
myself if
can't.
I lived here."
It's awful. Like
I,
it's so just it's too
obviously
relaxed.
joking. I didn't absolutely mean that he was killing
Island
himself. I
I did
was
say
just
that
kidding.
jokingly though, and
I
it's
Well,
a
yeah, it's
tasteful
joking.
joke.
Yeah.
But
Island time is a real thing.
yeah, Tyler lives on island time, but I can't do it.
No, I don't.
Well, we like
Tyler
to make a joke that like
Tyler's
you're
a
always in neutral, like you're
no wake zone.
yeah, it's like boat speed kind of deal. But I like that about you, and you own it, and you're like, yeah, that's who I am, and all of you can screw off. Like I love that about you, how you're like, yeah,
We were dri
I'm usually on time to things.
we were
yeah.
driving to
Oh,
the
oh, yes, not
volcano.
about yeah.
The
I also
volcano
like
was
Hawaii.
like 80 miles away, right?
Oh, it's far.
But it's a 2 hour drive, which shouldn't take 2 hours to go 80
Well, yeah,
miles.
it's not like you're driving on like I-80 out there. It's like, Highway 2.
11, but close. But like
It
I
was
was just
Highway
like
two lanes.
Hey,
I was stuck behind someone doing 5 under the speed limit. And I'm like, come
oh,
on, man. That like drives me insane.
oh,
So
Segi is a speeder, by the way. He
yeah,
drives fast.
I like to drive fast, but like you should at least go the speed limit. Like always. It's
Well,
actually unsafe to go below the speed limit.
In
maybe
certain
in Hawaii
situations,
it's not.
yes. Yeah, maybe they're like, chill out, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's like fill me
Volcano
one of these.
the volcano
right.
will still be there.
It will be.
So I did want to move into a little bit of kind of why we started the pod, which is it's kind of ever evolving, as we're kind of getting our feet under us here, kind of, understanding like what it is that we really want to do here. And one of the things that we started with was every week on tour that we were going to recap the shows. And the three of us know more than anyone that sometimes that can be a little bit inconsistent We are well aware of that. I think you guys can also understand on the road, you know, it's all happening in real time, as we like to joke, but it is. And sometimes it's not the easiest. But I do want to take a chance right now. If I remember right, we did a pod with Ernie Halter. We
We
were in
did.
Effingham, Illinois. It was about like mid November. And I think we might have done one more after that. But I know
The
for
last,
sure
yeah,
we
in
were
Boston, I think.
okay. I know for sure that we were kind of laxed in the month of December for a
And January.
number of reasons. But I did want to go ahead and try to recap some of the shows, just kind of like a
Oh
ballpark.
boy.
Well, just an over kind of arching, you know, kind of an open-ended sort of discussion about how the tour went after Thanksgiving, because I think we were at the MGM last time we did the pod. We were at the MGM, like you said, Tyler, Boston, and that was mid late November ish. But I do think the month of December was great. I think all of the markets that we hit in that month are always really great, always really exciting. And we did a live stream at the end of the tour. We were in Ohio. I think we were in maybe Dayton, Ohio, I think.
Dayton, Ohio.
And that's always an awesome thing to do, which I hope you guys like that. And I think we'll continue to do that at least once a tour, whether that would be summer or that's fall. But I just wanted to ask the guys, like, if you can remember, say, like, I mean, after we got back from our break after Thanksgiving, was there anything specific about the last month of the tour that was amazing? Anything that was a little, I mean, anything that was maybe a little disappointing? Were there any good opportunities that we got to do? I think the Grove was November, so that I think that was after. So we talked about
Mm.
Grove, I think, already. But I don't know. I, I mean, like I look, I mean, I sort of look back on it like any other, kind of December. There were no, I don't remember there really
We
being any,
did.
eh,
One
like
thing was the
any kind of weather delays.
no,
There was no,
thankfully.
there was no big weather stuff.
Chicago's
All
kind of
Chicago shows went off okay. Oh
Chicago's
yeah.
kind of iffy with the weather.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So that was a matinee show, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
We also
And
had a pretty big day on, I think it was December 6th, where we did GMA in the
yeah, let's
morning.
talk about that. Yeah.
And that's always fun because we've done it. I think this was our third time or something, fourth time or something. I forget what it was, but they had this brand new studio, which we hadn't been in yet. And it was gorgeous. So they did a fantastic job. And if you've heard us talk about like national morning TV shows like the Today Show or GMA, as we've done before, they usually require you to wake up quite early because they want you to do a sound check, which they want you to do that before everybody gets in and they start doing the prep for their own show. And so that usually means we have to get up very early, and which means we're coming from the show the night before, and that's exactly what happened. We woke up at 0 dark 30, whenever that was,
I think it's
and
4 a.m.
4 a.m.
But at
We
least the buses were able to come
the buses were able to
into the city,
right. So
which
that
isn't always the
was
case, right? Go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean I
yeah.
didn't.
Usually the buses, two tour buses going to New York City, as you can imagine, is not the most easy thing to do. It's a lot
It helps that it's
easier.
at 4 a.m.
It helps if you're
True.
going in the middle of the night. So like, usually when we go to New York, we'll get it the night before and we'll do the show and they'll go that night. So it's easier. But usually going into New York with two tour buses is not the easiest. But yeah, so we get up at 4 a.m. We do the sound check. We have to hang out there until our like I think we had to do another check or something, another something or other. We had a bunch of people that came in and asked us a bunch of questions, which was great. I forget what time our hit was, like at 8 something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we had some time to kill there between 4:30 and 8 a.m., which is
Yeah,
Prime sleep hours.
I think a lot of people think I think a lot of people outside of the group or outside of the industry think like, yeah, like why wouldn't you say yes to that? Or like why wouldn't you say yes to every opportunity? But I don't think that a lot of people think about or they understand that when these things happen early in the morning like that, it's usually right in the middle of the hardest month of the tour. And we think that even too sometimes. We're like, shoot, all right, this is a great opportunity. but we have to think about, okay, how is that going to affect the rest of our day or the rest of our week?
Right.
So I think that's a little insight into like, it's like if we get these offers, it's not like we just automatically say yes every time, even though that's a good thing to do and we love having that offer. But sometimes we have to gauge, like, okay, like, yes, we want to do this. What is the opportunity, if we do it, and what's the cost if we don't? I know we have a show later, because I think the show later that night was Mohegan,
Yep.
which is one of our, like, I would say it's
It's the
our
biggest show.
largest show on tour, right? So it's like you think about
Yeah.
those things and you're like, well, shoot, this is a great opportunity. I want to do it, but I'd rather not have to get up at 3:30 and then sit in the studio like until 8 and then have to do a show that night for, right? So
But then get in a van and drive
all
3
of those
hours
things, right?
to
Right. So it's
Uncasville.
like I don't I don't think a lot of people realize that, like, we think about all of those things when we're saying yes or no to something. And I think it could be easy for someone on the outside to be like, well, like, why don't you guys just go do that? And like, why don't you do that? It's like, well, we would if we could. And it's like, when we get those offers,
Yeah.
there's more to think about other than just being like, yes.
Yeah, and we obviously thought long and hard about this one because we know it was a great opportunity, and we knew going into it that you know what, this was going to be a long day. Like we're going to have a long day. We knew what we were doing. We know it's not only that we have to get up early and do a perform. We also have to sing, and usually the voice isn't totally warmed up at that time in the morning. So that is also another little bit of a challenge. But yeah, we knew what we were, we chose to do this because we knew it was a great opportunity. So we did the hit at Good Morning America. We got in a van and drove 2 hour and a half, 2 hours up to Connecticut. Had a little bit of downtime, which was nice. I think I tried to take a little bit of a nap, which was great. And then the show that night was at 8 o'clock, I think. And like you said, it's the biggest show we do. It's, I think, the only arena show that we do in Mohegan Sun, which is a lot of fun. Crowd's usually really great, and it's always fun to perform for such a big crowd like that. It's just it's kind of humbling, right? It's just like you kind of walk out there for that first song and you're like, wow, this is a lot of people. This is really
Some
cool.
people get to do this every night.
Some
The other thing I
people
think is
do.
is like interesting about this is that if you were to, all right, if you were to like once we got into the green room that morning, right, at I think at or like at like the GMA studio, if you were to take a video of us then and then you were to have taken a video of us after the Mohegan show, I promise you everybody would have said, I'm glad that we did that thing in the morning. It's like
Absolutely.
the gym thing. It's like you never regret going to the gym. When you walk out, you're like, I'm glad I did that.
Oh man, but those
It's those are like it's that like it's a similar situation to that. It's like, man, this sucks, but I know it's good for us. But then after you do it and after it's done, you're like, yeah, okay, that was a like all right. And I think a lot of things work like that, just
Also,
in life in general.
when you factor in that Indiana beat Ohio State that night in the Big Ten
we
championship game,
also had that going on.
literally
That's true.
anything
Yeah,
could have
anything
happened
would
that
have
morning.
been. Yeah.
We could have all been
No,
stabbed that
you're
morning.
right.
It would have been
You're
like, you
right.
know what?
You're
That
right.
was okay.
Yeah, you're right.
We
You're
won the
right.
Big Ten championship.
Yeah, yeah. We the show was at 8, and I think we caught maybe what, like the last
Last
six
part
or
of it.
7 minutes, but I think we were lucky in the fact that it was a close game
Good minutes to catch.
all the way throughout. And then I think we were able to see, I think we were able to catch the drive where they made the 3rd and 8, like to Becker down the sideline, that like sort
Yeah.
of sealed the game. So even though we missed 2/3 of the game, I think that we were able to see the last like 3 to 4 minutes, which were where all of the big stuff was going on, because it was back and forth. It was really low scoring.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that was, yeah, so that was fun.
It was an eventful day
But I think the whole,
in
I mean, I think
December.
the whole month of December, like, I don't want this to sound like weird, but it was just kind of, kind of business as usual. Like there wasn't
Flew
anything,
by.
exciting. There was nothing that was like, oh, this is not
W-
good. Like, I
Well,
don't, you know what I
after
mean? Like,
things
it was all just kind of steady, you know?
after Thanksgiving, yeah, after Thanksgiving, we really get into a groove, right? I mean, we're usually not changing the show a whole lot, like aside for the Indiana shows where we add Indiana Christmas, like the show is usually the exact same, and we've done it already, what, 30 times or whatever. So
Yeah.
we're in a huge groove, so it kind of becomes, sort of routine where, December, we know we have a lot of shows, we know we usually only have one day off a week, and it kind of just becomes, we're just doing our
Yeah.
thing,
I
getting
like
into a
how
nice groove.
I I like how it's kind of a thing like where once we reach uh, that last month of the year, it's almost like everybody locks in without having to be told. Like it's kind of like you just know. You're like, okay, like
Yeah,
this is it. And it's like almost if you would ask us to do anything over that whole, I mean, even if it was like, I'm sure that like group would say yes. Even if it was, something small, it's it's like it's like once you get a bit of it's like once you get a bit of like, I don't know, kind of or like the momentum, it's almost like you want to hold on to that for as long as you can. And I think that happens to us every single month of the year at the end, every single December. It's like because we know we're like, hey, let's roll here. Like every opportunity we get, let's go.
Yep.
I
And
I mean,
mean,
that's our time to make the donuts. So
I like that. So
pedal
eh,
to the metal.
yeah,
and we have to say that we're so thankful for, all the fans that come out during that month and the whole tour really, but we wouldn't be anywhere without you guys. So we appreciate you guys coming and
hmm
filling the houses and, bringing new people, bringing friends. We love seeing entire families there. That's, we love seeing that when entire families come through the line and say hello. But we just appreciate all of you. And yeah, we wouldn't be here without you guys. So thank you.
that's right. All right. So that was kind of the overview of like the month of December, but I do want to get to the end. So we have shows in Indy right before the holidays. Those are always great. We did 4 shows again this year. We got to sit in with, or like, like, like I should say that we had the opportunity to have a few guests sit in with us in Indy. As you guys
Yeah.
know, if you listen to the pod, our friend Ernie Halter, who was a part of writing our single this year, Christmas is Different. He was on stage with us, and also Ryan Allward, who you guys know, who sat on stage with us for the tune that I wrote with him called Very Merry Christmas. And that
Well,
was
30% of it.
exactly, he did write most of it, but I arranged it for the group. So I feel like I can sort of be like, hey, man, without the little bit that I did,
Yeah.
this this would
Well,
not
you wrote all the good parts.
be on stage right now or on this album. So I feel
That's
like I
right.
have a little bit of a
My,
case, but
Yeah. Take that, Brian.
I love,
yeah,
but
Brian.
I just love how like all of us are so like I love how we're all just kind of so kind of willing to be like, yeah, man, like anybody who wants to come sit in with us,
We're not precious.
I
We're
love that
not
about our
precious
group.
about things.
Yeah, yeah, I love that about our group, and I thought
Well, in the
like
same way that
indie, I thought that was a great like indie thing that we did. So
in the same way that I was saying, post Thanksgiving we kind of get into a groove. Like it's nice to have little different things like that for the show. That sense of, oh, or mix it up a little bit. Like we're gonna have a couple guests, or we're gonna do a couple different songs. Like that's always cool to do too, because it kind of keeps you on your toes and it's
yeah,
fun.
and right, I think with us, I think over the years, for I think for reasons that are good, the show is a little harder to be flexible with because if you come to meet and greets and stuff like which I'm sure you guys have heard us explain that now we're at that level where we want to have everything sort of sync up with each other. So it's harder to switch a song on the fly even though we want to do that, but I think for what we want our show to show the audience, it's going to be the best if we like have it set and we have it all like that. So I also think that we think about that a lot, because a lot of us, because like I feel like like our group kind of began on that kind of off the cuff.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, a
There's no
cappella in
set
general.
intro, there's no set intro, like, it's kind of just kind of whatever. And you lose that a bit in a show like ours now, but there is also benefit because it looks awesome and it's like super pro, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, it's great.
Yeah. So that was fun.
Our friends in Voctive came out to the
Oh
Orlando
yeah.
show. That was cool to see
After
them.
Christmas, we did the Florida tour there, and that was a bunch of different shows in Florida. And yeah, Voctive came to the Orlando show. If you don't know who Voctive is, they are I believe, 8 person, four in each part. I think I could be wrong. 8 to 10, I don't know. They're an a cappella group that started singing in the Disney group, the Voices of Liberty, that performs at Epcot. If you know, very, very talented group that
They're
sings
insane.
a lot of Disney songs and Broadway songs. So if you don't know who they are, look them up. They have awesome arrangements of very, very well-known songs. And yeah, if you don't know who they are, look them up. They're awesome. So they came to the show in Orlando, came and said what's up before the show. So it was cool to see some of them because we saw their show in Japan. So it was cool to see them come to one of our shows.
Yeah, that show that we saw of theirs in Japan was amazing.
Yeah,
And
very talented.
it's completely different from what we do,
Yeah, theirs is like
but I
flawless singing.
but I can
Ours is not.
right, and that's why all of us were sitting in the audience just like, what? Like, wow. But then you start thinking about the why, and then you start listing things like what you said earlier today, Segi. You were like on the or on or like I think it was on like a or on like a side. I think it was like a side thing to us too. It was like it'd be so much easier if we lived in the same city. All of those guys live in the same
Yeah,
city and they sing together every day. So no wonder, and they're not really moving. So it's just like they're so on. It is like
yeah.
there's not
They're
a note
pocket.
wrong.
They are pocket.
And we look at that and we're like, that's awesome. But we'd never do that. But I think what we want to do is we want to kind of have that level of I don't want to say like a because I because our whole thing is it's like we're not serious. But
Yeah,
musically we are and we can be. And I feel like sometimes our shtick can get in the way of everybody seeing like what we really can do. Like if,
Yeah.
dude, I promise you, if we stood up on that and like, I would argue that if we didn't move around, I would think we could be almost as good as Voctive musically and like singing wise. But our show is different and
I
we
don't
have a
know.
different vibe, you know?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely room for songs like that in our show. I mean, we've like not exactly that, but that, sort of style. We've done it before with Yellow
I
Brick
just didn't
Road
want
and
anyone to
Creep and stuff
think
like
like,
that.
yeah,
The off mics is usually like that too. We're just standing and singing. It's usually a slower song, but there's definitely room for that in our show. But it's definitely, yeah, it's
I could
different.
feel
And
some of the guys when they were watching, like, oh man, like this is insane. And I wanted to be like, bros, like we can do this too, but this just isn't our show. This is not our shtick. This is how we became like who we are because we're different,
Yeah, it's a different product.
you
But I
know?
mean, I would say, you know, just top to bottom,
Sure.
they're better singers and better musicians, top to
Okay.
bottom.
Sure. I would agree with that. Yeah.
I would say that.
Sure.
So
I would agree.
while we can do a little bit of that, like it's just not that's not our bread and butter. For them,
Exactly.
that is exactly what they do, and they freaking crush it.
So good at it. Yeah. And they're
And like,
such like sweet, sweet people.
yeah, and when they watched our show, they're probably like, I would never want to do all this. Like this, they're
Right.
just running around the stage, just like way too much. This is like overwhelming. So I'm sure it's like the same thing. They're
And
like,
the fact that they were there at all shows that they like have, I mean, a bit of mutual respect, you know?
for sure, for sure.
So, and I don't know, I think that's important because I think like one of my big things, like when we first started out, was I felt like where we were in the industry, we were kind of like out there on our own, kind of like I mean, almost like a lone wolf in that yes, we're a part of acapella because we're acapella, but we're not in that acapella community. Yes, we have albums that are on the charts. We have songs on the charts, but we're not really like in the community. And I feel like 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 we've kind of had to sort of toe that line of like, are we acapella? Are we this? Are we whatever? And I feel like we've kind of over the years, I think we're okay with that. We're like 1 foot in acapella world, 1 foot out, 1 foot in pop world. We don't really have like a community of artists because like we are so different. And I felt like after seeing them and after seeing like when we were in Orlando and how like we saw them at our show, I liked how there was that kind of sense of like, yeah, like it's like we all do this together, if that makes
Yeah.
sense. Because I didn't, I'm not sure we ever had that. You know, even at, I mean, even like when we
There's
were at
just not
IU.
there's just not a lot of acapella around. I mean, it's
Right.
Well, right, but
three groups, four groups that
even when we
do
were at like
anything.
IU, it was like we didn't want to be that whole Ivy
Nerdy.
League kind of
Yeah,
nerdy
yeah.
thing. So we set ourselves apart then, which was great. That's
Yeah.
why we're here.
Yep.
But then it's like, oh shoot, it's like, yes, I loved our kind of individuality and our kind of originality and that we weren't a part of the khaki suit and like the blue blazer crowd. But then when you make it and you're in the industry and then you look around and you're like, oh yeah, like I don't know any a cappella groups. I don't like, it's like I know some, but I don't like really know pentatonics. Like I've never met those guys. I don't have like I've never met like any other groups other than like Home Free and Voctive. Like, and even
But that's basically
but
it.
even
You
they
just
aren't
listed
in
all of
our,
them.
yeah, but even like they're not like our style,
No,
right?
they're
We're our own thing, you know.
yeah. I think each of those groups you just named are their own thing. Like people always want to compare, like, oh well, these guys are no pentatonics or pentatonics is no these guys and whatever, all these things. Like there's no comparison. Like we
I'm with
all
you on
do
that. Yeah.
very different things. Like
Hmm.
Home Free, Voctive, us, Pentatonics are all, yes, technically a cappella, but four very distinct, different products within the a cappella umbrella. So, like, I would never compare us to Pentatonics. We don't do what they do.
Hmm.
They excel at what they do. It's not what we do. I think we excel at what we do, and what we do is not what they do. And what Voctive does is not what we do. And Home for and the same thing. It's like,
No, I get it. Like, like I'm just saying that I feel like for all of this time, I've liked that we're like individuals and that like we're different.
yeah,
But now I'm kind of like, man, I wish that we were a little more a part of
a community.
community, not for any other reason than like, I don't know. I just don't like, I feel like we're, yeah, again, like I know you guys know me and you know that I like to go, I mean, I'm against the grain and it's like I like to be contrarian and all that.
What?
So so I love so I love that like we're doing it our own way, but I can be honest enough and I can be aware enough to realize that maybe there is some kind of, you know, some sort of value to not being so like, well, like, you know, it's like it's it's us over here and like, you know, and like, you know, kind of we do our own thing and it's not our deal over there. It's like, but we kind of are. Like we're in that, you know.
Yeah, I mean, you want to be in the club, right? You want to be in a
But see,
club.
that's the thing
That's what 50 Cent said.
is that no, is that well, like it's yes and it's no,
Sure.
right?
Yeah.
Right?
I
Like
th- I think you could be in the club and still
like
be an
yes,
individual and doing your own
yeah,
thing.
right,
But
right.
I get what you're saying. It's like you want to be around or have connection with people that get it. You know what I
Sure.
mean? Like they're
Hmm.
like, oh, we're in the same kind of space. So we know what you're going through, they know what we're going through, like that kind of thing. You know what I mean? It's like if you're a country artist, you have a million country artists that get it, right? They're all in
Hmm.
their bubble. And like if you're a pop star, like if Bieber's hanging out with Usher, like they get it. They have a mutual understanding of what each other is going through.
Hmm.
So I get what you're saying. There's
Nice.
pros and cons, right? It's
Yeah.
but I would say that we live in this space which I think makes up the vast majority of the music industry, of just the kind of the people in the middle, right? Because if you think about like the pop stars and like the country stars, like that's such a small amount of the industry. Like they take up the biggest space for sure, but like they are like less than a percentage point of the entire business. You know what I mean? Like you
Hmm.
go to any go to Ticketmaster or any like ticketing website and type in a city name and just look at what's playing for a week. Like there's going to be hundreds of things going on and you'll maybe have heard of five of them. You know what I mean? So it's like the vast majority of us live in this space like beneath the big behemoths, right? Where it's like
Hmm.
blue collar musician kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like being a road comic versus being Jerry Seinfeld. You know what I mean?
Hmm. Yeah.
For every Jerry Seinfeld, there's 2,000 road comics. So it's like, you know,
Yeah. I think that's
But
a
we
good.
wouldn't,
Yeah.
I said, but we wouldn't mind
Oh,
their
go ahead.
private planes though.
It's true.
no, thank you.
Uh,
I'm good on Delta, bro. It's
I
way safer.
I think
Delta
that's a
One, baby.
I think that's a good I think that's kind of a good little I think it's a good segue into what I was going to ask next, which is, you know, if you guys have been listening for a while and if you know the group, you know that we've released summer tour dates
Or maybe you
for
don't.
June and July. But I was going to ask you guys, as we wrapped up the end of the year and all that stuff, we were in West Palm Beach for New Year's and all that, and that was awesome. Had our families down again, and so in your guys' mind, what does the next 6 months look like for the group in between? I guess now 4.5 because we go out in June. So what do the next few months look like here in 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 your minds, as we're getting ready for the summer?
World domination.
For me, it's were you going to keep going? Sorry.
No.
No, I think, we're gonna gear up for the upcoming tour in June and like we've done the past couple summers, pick, an awesome fun summer set and working on that right now as we speak. So that's fun for me because this is my creative time. I get to try to come up with songs that I want to arrange, and that's what I'm doing right now, which I have a lot of fun doing. So I think I'm just going to be trying to work on that and maybe thinking about what's going to be the best for the show so we can get a bunch of people to come out and see us.
Good.
And then
Sag.
I'll add to that. The next 6 months to me are mostly focused on amplifying us through social media, through creative endeavors, really trying to expand our footprint online, like really grow our audience, not just here domestically, but internationally. We want to be everywhere. We want to be able to tour in Europe and Asia and Australia and South America and have them be successful. And I think all that starts with us and with growing our footprint online and expanding our reach. So for me, it's just about focusing on content ideas and creative ideas with Freedom and with our friends at Venture and just keeping our foot on the gas. We saw like insane social media growth in the last 6 months, and it's still not good enough. Like we need to be further along. So want to make sure that we're doing everything we can to not blow all that momentum that we had in the last 3 months and just continue to grow.
I think we've done
I
a
I'm
pretty
all.
good job with that,
I
though,
go
right?
ahead,
I
go ahead,
mean,
Ty.
at least from what I've seen, I think that partnering with Venture last year has done a great job. But like you said, we always want to be continuing to grow, especially in that part of our a part of our business, you know, because with anything else, as musicians, well, as anybody, you know, the social media is such a huge thing, and that's where most of the eyeballs are, and that's just, you know, a an awesome goal for us, and hopefully that we can continue to grow that because that's a huge part of our business.
Yeah, I was also going to say I am excited about the growth in that area that started last year and has obviously been awesome for us. I think, just with all of us in the group, I mean, I feel like everybody is like a little bit, everybody in the group has their own sort of personality and like their own thing, kind of leaning into that a little bit more. I am also excited for myself musically. I'm trying to be a little more intentional about what I create and the arrangements that I do. I felt like I've been in for the past, 3 to 4 years, it's been like after I get off the tour, I automatically go into what's next. What are the songs? What am I arranging? And I feel like a lot of my kind of, for lack of a better word, I feel like a lot of the musicianship that I was working on for other things like writing songs or like trying to be better at all the instruments I play, trying to learn some new instruments, kind of rounding that whole thing out. It's not that I feel like I have a cappella on lock or the arrangements on lock. I could be better. I'm not even the best arranger in our group. And I know that I have a lot of work to be done there. But for me, I'm excited at trying to feel like what I do has more just meaning and kind of intention behind it instead of just being like, here's a song, here's a song, here's a song. And I think there is a lot of value in like a numbers game, meaning like just arrange, 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 and 1 out of 3 will hit. All right,
Hmm.
cool. And I did that for a long time, but I felt like the quality of what I was doing was being watered down. And I know I've said this to you guys that like I kind of want to, take a step, a little step back, and instead of arranging 6 songs a year, like maybe do 2, and I can make them awesome as opposed to just okay, right?
Sure, that makes
And
sense.
and I know
We're
that
we're gonna need the six though.
I feel like I'm kind of now in more of a phase where it's like I want to make things that are great. Like I want to spend, time on stuff like we did for I think maybe social Christmasing, right? How we kind of dug into those arrangements and those songs and those original songs and we really got into it. But I understand that there's a time and a place for that. And in how the music world works right now, you're not really, you don't really have that luxury so much anymore of like, spending like weeks on a song. So I'm trying as we're off here to like kind of manage that kind of middle ground of, hey, yes, we need songs, and not be like, I need to spend a month on this, right? Like
Right.
there's got to be a middle ground. So that's that's sort of what I think musically I'm going to be focused on these next couple months. But like you guys said, yeah, I mean, summer tour coming up, the summer beach bash, the SNC beach bash. It's going to be great. It's going to be
Beach
a whole
bash.
all songs new. I'm not all, but I mean, there's going to be, I'd say
No, we're gonna bring some back.
60%.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you guys know. So yeah, there's always work to do, but I think everybody is super excited about the future of the group, and we are. I think we're locked. Like all of us are locked in together. So yeah, I think it's
That's
great.
right.
But I was going to move on to questions, unless you guys have anything to add about, kind of how you see, the, I mean, the group's activities, up until June.
I just think we need to keep being, you know, keep getting out there. We've been home
Absolutely. Seen.
We've been home for like a month and a half now,
Right.
and we haven't really done anything. So we need to
Right.
start getting into
Well,
gear. It's nice to give a
but
little
I think
break.
that's yeah. Right. Exactly.
It's nice to give a little break, but now it's go time. We need to get going.
Okay. I'm not sure, but I don't know if we have an unofficial official sponsor for this week since we've been off for a while. We haven't had the opportunity to to really connect with any with any sort of any
because
any
they've been
any sort
piling
of
in,
brands or anything. But
piling in.
I'll
Well,
give this to Segi right now if he does have
just
one.
on the fly, this is what I could come up with.
As I was stalling. I was trying to be. I was trying to.
Today,
Yeah.
today's unofficial official sponsor is a calendar.
Oh,
A calendar
everyone needs one.
calendar helps you keep track of things and it also helps you stay consistent. It is February 16th at
Well, if
1:18 p.m. Eastern.
I love it.
I had a note in here. It said unofficial official podcast recording at noon. So now what I can do is I can say, you know what? This is going to be for every Monday. So then I click a button and
I
it'll
see what you're
populate.
doing. I see what you're doing.
It'll populate on every Monday on
I
the whole calendar.
see what you're doing.
So
what
to
happens if the
help keep you consistent.
wow, I mean, do you guys use the calendar in your phone for everything like appointments and stuff or
I didn't used to, but as I get older with all the kids
same?
stuff and with all the stuff,
Yeah,
I do now. Yeah.
I don't put
yeah.
any of my stuff in the calendar. This is actually hilarious. I have like 4 calendars on my phone. The regular Apple one, and all that has on
Chinese
there.
calendar,
What's that?
Chinese calendar,
Chinese calendar,
right?
lunar new year, the cow.
It's the year of the horse.
Horse.
But in the Apple calendar, like the default calendar, all that's on there is the Detroit Tigers schedule,
Love it.
the Lions schedule, Pistons schedule, Red Wings schedule, and IU football and basketball schedule. And then we have like a family calendar that all the kids and Jamie stuff is on. But I don't put any of my stuff in the calendar because it's just right up here. I also
Locked in, baby.
I also don't have anything to put
Locked
in a
in, baby.
calendar.
That's right. All right. Gonna throw it to Ty here with mailbag. Are there any? I know we've been off for a little bit, but I was just gonna see if you were looking through and if you had anything, if you want to throw it to us.
Do you want to keep going or save this for next time? Because we
I mean, if you have one or two, let's do one or two.
sure. Okay, this is from. Let's see. Let's first one is
Mailbag.
the unofficial official pod mailbag. Thank you for writing in. We read all of them. We promise we read all of them, even Rich's. But you can write in with any question you might have about the group, about life, about Segi's hairstyle that day, about what Mike's just,
Usually the same.
Mike's thinking about, just during his walks with his dog. This one is from Jess from Red Hill, PA. I believe this is the Jess that we know, a longtime chaser. My question is, I've heard you aren't supposed to wear band merch to that band's concert. Now, do you agree, or do you like to see fans of your concerts in your own merch? Also, if you happen to see someone out in the public or the world in your own merch, would you or have you ever approached them?
I would say whoever told her that you shouldn't wear the band's merch to their show, that's stupid. Like, of course you should wear. If you have Straight No Chaser merch, of course wear it to our show. It's awesome. We love seeing that. That shows us that you've been before. That shows us that you're a fan, that you care, that you're like you've bought into Straight No Chaser, like you're a fan. I love that. I would absolutely never think anything negative of someone wearing Straight No Chaser merch to our show. That's insane. I have never seen Straight No Chaser merch in the wild. I also don't wear any of it. I know Mike and Tyler do. I don't wear any of it. But yeah, you should absolutely wear the band's merch to their show.
I think any group who saw you wearing a shirt of theirs and the audience would be ecstatic about it.
Yeah.
But for the record, I just want to say I do not wear the group's merch in public. I wear it around the house. I wear it on tour on the bus, and sometimes I'll wear a t-shirt to go work out. So if you want to call that, I guess I do.
Do you work out in public?
I guess it's okay. So that's the only that's the only
Only
time.
want to work out every
it's
other
not like
Friday.
I walk. Here's what you need to know about this. I am so
Everybody-
against that. I am so against that on the way home from Miami after the IU game. I purposely did not wear any Indiana gear on the airplane because I didn't want to have a conversation with any. So like I don't. I feel like if I wore a sweatshirt of ours out, I would be welcoming any kind of
Sure.
conversation. And if you know me, it's not that I don't like talking to people. It's like out in the
He
open
doesn't
like
like
that,
people talking to him.
like a random thing like that. So I won't. So,
Mike
but
hates small talk,
but
just for
you are
FYI.
right. But you are right though. Yes, I do wear it, but when it is in the public, it's really only in like a gym setting. I'm not gonna like wear my SNC shirt to go get the girls at school or to a concert or like out to eat or something like that. So
Yeah.
yeah. But
I
yes, I
do
do wear
I
it. It's really comfortable,
I
and
did
you should
crush
wear it
the
too.
IU gear on the flight home
You did, yeah,
from Miami, and I was crushing it with all the IU fans at the airport. It was awesome. Loved
yeah.
talking to everybody.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's
That
awesome.
was
It's
such a
awesome.
different scenario. Like that was like
You
I'm
also
here
left
to
at 3 p.m. I was at
But I
6
yeah.
did,
6, 6 a.m. in the morning. People were trying to talk to me.
but
I'm like,
but
hey, man.
but I did wear a sweatshirt on. I did wear an IU sweatshirt on the way down
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
because it was before we were hype, all that stuff. But it was the next day where I was like, everything's over. Let's move on with our lives. I'm not trying to talk about what
Oh,
you know
dude.
what I mean. So
I was wearing IU gear in
Yeah,
Hawaii.
dude.
I was wearing
Awesome.
IU gear in Hawaii, and people were coming up to me like, "I bet you never been more proud to wear that." I'm like, "Yeah, that's awesome.
dude,
High fives." It was great, dude. I was loving it.
I walked
um
into Carly's Valentine's party last Friday, and they have a new kind of sub teacher, interim teacher. And he's like, "What's up, football school?" I'm like, "Okay."
yeah, dude.
Nice.
So like so like I will wear an IU sweatshirt around, and I always have. But
And
for
I always
some
will.
but for some reason, the week after they won the title, I would like have it on like I normally do, like the black one, the Adidas one with the white. And like I walk to school to get the girls. I've worn that thing so many times, and then I'll see some of my buddies who are like, "Oh, so you got like one of those for every day of the week now, or what?" And I'm like, "Hey, man," I was like, "I wear this all the time. You just haven't seen it." But like, but uh, it- like, yeah, it's like, yeah, it's weird. It's like I've always worn them, but now the Indiana won and everybody knows about it. It's like they see it more and they're like, "Oh, so now you're wearing your Indiana sweatshirt." I'm like, "Dude, I've been wearing this sweatshirt for, you know."
Yeah.
So I just thought that was funny.
Yeah, I definitely noticed it too. Like just random places. I'm like, I wear IU stuff all the time, and
I
nobody
know,
ever
and
says
exactly.
anything.
But now it's like, "Oh, so you got one
Oh,
for every day of the week, man?" I'm like, "You know
yeah,
what? Actually, yeah, I'm gonna rub this in
yeah.
like
Some
Yeah.
this
guy,
SEC country, you know what I
yeah,
mean? I'm gonna
right.
rub this in for as long as I can here."
Some guy at Carly's dance was like, "Oh, so are you just a recent fan?" Or I'm like, "No, dude, I went
You're like,
there.
"Come on, man."
Come on,
Nope.
man."
Yeah.
The longtime fans are Tyler Tripp, myself, and Mickey Seidenstein.
I've
Yeah.
seen so much horrible football. And I mean, as you guys know, when I was in college, my parents had season tickets. So every
Yep.
weekend, we would do tailgates and stuff. And that just kind of slowly went away after I left college, and the team wasn't very good. And you know what I mean? So,
They
um,
were very bad
yeah, it was tough to
for a
watch.
long time.
But like the Randall L stuff, it's like you'd get these little things every once in a while that'd be like,
Yeah.
"Oh, okay."
But now we
That
got the
whole
biggest thing literally of all time.
But I mean, yeah, that whole thing was super fun. I know we didn't get to talk about it here, and I'm sure we're going to recap later, but like just that whole experience was fun. So, all right, this has been a great recap. I'm glad that we were able to sit down. Segi, you were mentioning it earlier, using a calendar helps to be consistent, blah, blah, blah. I think you were kind of getting at the fact that we have decided as an unofficial pod to set a specific date and a specific time every week. We're going to do noon Eastern, 11 Central on Mondays. Moving ahead, we understand that the consistency is an issue for us, and it's one that we know how to solve.
Has on our calendar.
I don't have to make excuses as to why. Obviously, you guys know Tyler's had a baby. Seg's been on the road. I've been doing stuff, but we do want to let you know that we have locked in a time when those get released. I think we agreed at some point on Fridays. Once we have a discussion about that, unless we want to lock this in now,
I
but
thought it
we
was
can, so y'all can
Wednesdays.
expect it.
But
Okay.
it all depends on your workload on your editing.
Okay.
So
Okay. So, but I think it's helpful for everyone to know that we are going to be more consistent now that we are back and now that all of our vacations are done and we are kind of settling into the year here. So I don't have to apologize, but I feel like we should just let you guys know we have made some changes and we are going to be better because we want to keep you guys up to date about everything going on with us, everything going on with the group, and obviously love hearing all the things that you guys have to say. So if you want to keep writing in the questions to unofficialofficialpod@gmail.com, and our boy Tyler will look at those and we will answer them.
I just want to say a comment on one of the emails that we got. It was from, I believe her name's Liz A, that she writes in sometimes. It wasn't a question, but more of a comment that she was in France and she was somewhere and the people next to her, the couple next to her, I think it was at a restaurant or something, were talking about Straight No Chaser and specifically the podcast. So I thought that was kind of cool.
yeah.
Oh yeah, that's great.
I
Thanks for
remember
sharing
her
that.
saying that story. I don't believe it, but I appreciate it.
Well, why don't we suspend our disbelief here and just
Okay.
believe it?
Sacre bleu.
World domination. All right, guys. Oh man, it's been so great to be back with you guys. Great to see you guys. Good having a conversation with you. This has been, I think it's episode number 42. And like we said, we are going to be every Monday, we're going to be taping. Once we decide when is a good release date, we will do that and we will keep that super consistent. So when you wake up every morning, you'll know it's there, whether that be Wednesday or Friday or whatever. We will tell you and we'll have a conversation about it offline and we'll figure that out and we'll let you guys know. As always, this whole thing wouldn't be happening without any of you. This whole group, the whole thing, this whole podcast, everything. The reason why we get to do it is because y'all listen and you support us, and we could not thank you enough. Segi and Tyler, as we wrap up here, anything else you guys want to add as we go?
Nope. Thanks for listening wherever you are, in your car, in your house. You could be on a catamaran in the Virgin Islands, wherever you are. Just thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week.
And I will add that Straight No Chaser is going on tour this summer for the Straight No Chaser Summer Beach Bash. So head to sncmusic.com. All the tickets, I believe, are on sale. Most of them. I think there might be 2 dates that are not. Please, 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 please help us amplify this message. Tell your friends, tell your coworkers, print out our picture of the tour dates, throw it up at work. People have questions, direct them to us, or you can answer them because you're probably better at that than we are. And yeah, let's fill these venues this summer.
All right, guys, that's great. We will see you next week. Thank you for listening. And this has been episode number 42. Onward and upward. We'll see you.
ya.
See ya.
Go Hoosiers. Happy New Year.